Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch with me, Gustav Miller, and today's whiskey, the first in a series of Japanese whiskies that I'm going to review. Today, the Hakushu Single Malt, Hakushu Distiller's Reserve Single Malt from Japan, from the Hakushu Distillery. If you want to pronounce it the way that the Japanese do, you would say akshu. The akshu Distiller's Reserve Single Malt from the Akshu Distillery. This distillery was founded in 1973. It is situated in the southern Japanese Alps, and it's owned by Beam Suntory, who also owns the Yamazaki distillery. It currently produces around 4 million liters of spirit every year, and interestingly enough, 30 years ago, when there was a boom or something in Japanese whiskey, they produced around 30 million liters of spirit. That was 30 years ago. The Hakushu Distiller's Reserve Single Malt. I'm very interested and very excited about this series on Japanese whiskey. Hakushu or akshu, very light gold, pale straw color. It's a no-age statement whiskey, so it's probably very young, and it's bottled at 43%. From what I could find out, it was mainly matured in American oak. Fresh, young, a little bit of an alcohol burn, crisp and grassy. Some wood spices, very citrusy, lime, grapefruit, oranges, even mint and cucumber. A little bit of herbs and spices. It's quite an interesting nose, fresh, but a whole lot of subtle, very subtle fragrances and aromas. Young, but so interesting. There's the freshness coming through, the vibrancy coming through, but the fruitiness from the oak wood is there, with the subtle fruit flavors. Sweet citrus is there, straight from the nose to the palate. The grapefruit is there. The green apples, there's even a slight smoke note with some melons, but young and vibrant. If I would say, it's probably around 4, 5, 6 years matured in American oak. Let's talk about angel share for a moment. When you mature whiskey in oak casks, the oak wood is very flexible. That's why they use oak wood, but it's also porous and it can breathe, which means that you lose some of the spirit inside the cask due to evaporation through the porous wood. That is called the angel's share. Now, the angel's share in Scotland is around 3% every year. So every year you lose 3% of whatever is left in the cask due to evaporation, angel's share. But in warmer climates like Japan and also Taiwan, the angel share is closer to 10%. So where this whiskey comes from, you lose much more due to the angel's share, which is an interesting thing. But the warmer climate also leads to a more aggressive interaction between the spirit and the wood, which means that the maturation is a bit quicker. So it takes less time to get to a mature whiskey. I like this whiskey. It's, even though it's young and there's a strong peppery note, there's also this light fruity note. I think they did very well. The finish is short, and it is light, and it is very citrusy. Let's see what a few drops of water will do to this akshu, Distiller's Reserve, single malt from Japan. Japanese whiskey, increasingly popular, probably mainly because a few years ago Jim Murray from the Whiskey Bible announced that the best whiskey for that year was I think it was the Yamazaki 18 sherry cask. More citrus, more fresh fruit, so the water released a bit more fruitiness. Less peppery notes, more fruit on the palate as well. This is a light whiskey to be enjoyed, straightforward, no nonsense. If you want to pair this whiskey with a snack, I would recommend that you try to connect with the citrus. So a citrus meringue or a lemon cheesecake, which is quite soft and not too overwhelmingly, seeing that this is a delicate whiskey. I have prepared a skewer, a mini skewer, fruit skewer with an orange segment and a small piece of apple. And I'm going to use this as a food pairing with the akshu single malt. So the way you do it is you take that sip of whiskey, coat your mouth, and then you go for the snack. Light, fresh, and then a sip of whiskey. It completely tones down the pepperiness in the whiskey. It accentuates a little bit the fruitiness. It takes away that impression of youngness in the whiskey. I would say this is a very good pairing with this, specifically with this kind of whiskey. I will probably give this pairing a 3.5 out of 5. And I would love to see what a lemon cheesecake will do with this whiskey. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. And I'll see you again tomorrow. More whiskey tasting reviews and pairing to come. Slàinte.